Welcome back. You're watching the Buck Stops here. Moving on now to our other big story, the continuing questions around the death of Sunanda Pushkar Tharoor, a death that the police is now treating as a murder case. In a new twist to the entire controversy, a letter has surfaced written by Congress Member of Parliament Shashi Tharoor to the Delhi police, in which he has alleged that the police tried to physically assault his domestic help in order to put pressure on him to say that he and Shashi Tharoor had murdered Sunanda Pushkar. The police has denied these allegations. But even as the country waits to see whether there will be justice and truth for the Sunanda Pushkar mystery murder, another woman finds herself at the centre stage of the very public fight that took place between Shashi Tharoor and his wife just a couple of days before she died. Meher Tarar, senior Pakistani journalist, author and commentator, found that she was accused by Sunanda of having had an extramarital affair with her husband, leading to a very public squabble, as we said. She's joining us now on the Buck Stops here from Lahore. Meher, this has to be a very awkward, perhaps painful time for you. In the opinion of many Indians, because of that very public fight that took place between Sunanda and Shashi just before she died, you're seen to be at the heart of this. You said then that you were a victim of a conspiracy. Now the police here is calling Sunanda's death a murder. Your thoughts today?
My thoughts, I really don't have much to say anymore. I didn't have much to say a year ago. I don't really have a lot to say today. The most important thing I said then and I'm saying today is my connection to this case is that I was tweeted to. Somebody, Mrs. Tharoor tweeted to me, and that's how I became involved in the whole thing. And she said things to me, and my biggest mistake was answering her. I shouldn't have answered her on Twitter. I wouldn't have become involved in this. But since, I mean, in hindsight, it's easier to say what I should have done and shouldn't have done. So I'm not even upset anymore. Now I'm just angry. Why is my name being dragged into this again and again and again? I seriously don't understand. If the police, why the police thinks it's a murder, I don't understand that either. Just because they've not been able to figure out from a medical point of view how she died. Does that mean that somebody actually went into a hotel and killed a very high-profile woman while she was in a very high-profile fight with her husband and a woman across the border? Why? Just because your labs have not been able to figure out why she died, there has to be a 007 mystery to this, and my name has to be dragged into this. Pakistan's name has to be dragged into this. My personal interaction with somebody in India has to be connected to the ISI. It has to be connected to a conspiracy. It has to be connected to something sinister, something bigger than what it was. I found out about this case through Twitter. I was tweeted to, and that's how I found out that she was fighting with her husband. Then, 2 days later, she died, and I found that through people through Twitter. And when people texted to me, I was informed that she was staying in a hotel and she had died. I thought it was very, very, very unfortunate. But obviously, I thought, looking at the way she had been, and the way she had been tweeting, I assumed, like many other people, that she must have overdosed on something. But then the worst case scenario would have been that she did something to herself. She took something and it had a reaction on her body. Fine, that didn't happen either. Why this murder thing? Were they part of some mafia cabal or something? Who were they? They were just a high-profile politician and his wife. But why would people just assume that she would be killed? Why would somebody kill her? And if that is what your police is trying to say after a year, without even knowing what actually killed her, they have not found any poison in her body, but they say she's poisoned. I mean, this is what your police commissioner said in a video last night, which I saw. And he said, oh, we don't know what killed her. We don't know how she died. We just know that she was poisoned. And so all of a sudden, why is my name being dragged into this? Why this IPL thing? Why this ISI thing? Why can't they simply say that they have failed to figure out how she has died?
But
so seriously, I'm just very angry. I got myself dragged into something. I have paid a very, very huge price for that. I've become a household name in a very bad way in your country and even in my own, in mine. But at the end of the day, my life has not really been affected to the extent that, I'm like destroyed or something. But still, it's very, very upsetting to know that many, many, many people think that I had something to do with the death of a woman I'd never even met. It's the most surreal thing anyone could ever accuse anybody of.
But can I ask you, you say you're very angry today. Who are you angry with?
With the media, with the crazy politicians you have in your country.
What have our crazy politicians said? What have they specifically said to upset you? Nobody's accused you of having been responsible for her death.
When they say that there were people in a hotel, when they say there were 4 people in the hotel with Pakistani passports, what are they trying to imply? How has Pakistan come into this picture? Just because I'm a Pakistani and today I'm talking to you and we become friends, and God forbid, I don't know. I mean, for whatever reason, now our friendship is going to be dissected simply on Pakistan-India thing? No, it can't be. A number of people know a number of people. Just because the person happened to be a politician, does it mean there has to be a conspiracy? There has to be a Pakistan-India angle? Why? And because whenever Pakistan's name is dragged into it, whenever ISI, why all Pakistanis whose names are dragged into something in India, they have to be sent by our intelligence agency? How does that even work? I mean, say whatever you want to say to me, but please don't drag my country into saying that, we send terror boats, we do this, we do that. I can live with other things, but I mean, why drag a woman into a very big conspiracy? I found out about Sunanda's tweets, and I found out about Sunanda's anger and Sunanda's death through Twitter, through media. I mean, people tweeted to me, and that's how I found out that something had happened to her. And every day people are saying, oh, she did this, oh, she tweeted this, oh, she tweeted that. So I'm going to announce on Twitter that I'm going to do something bad to her, and then something bad is going to happen to her. I was very, very sorry that I actually answered her. I shouldn't have. I have accepted that a number of times to your media, and I have to live with that for the rest of my life. But other than that, I'm not defensive. As I said to Rajdeep Sardesai earlier, I'm saying this to you. I can say this. I'm saying this categorically. I can say this on oath. All her tweets to me were lies. All of them were lies. I'm saying this to you point blank. Everything she said to me was a lie.
Now here's my question.
ISI thing.
Here's my question. You've already spoken very strongly about being angry about being associated with the ISI. What upsets you more, that your personal life, in which the accusation was that you had an affair with Mr. Tharoor, but it is your personal life. So what bothers you at this moment? The fact that you were falsely charged by Sunanda of this affair, or that even if it was true, it was nobody else's business? What are you actually saying?
I'm not saying she falsely accused me, or why she accused me, or what she did. I don't know what went through her head. I was not in touch with her husband, and she was very much aware of that. If she saw some message of mine, that would have simply implied that we were not in touch with one another. And in any case,
why would it have implied that? Why would it have implied that you were not in touch with each other? Because she claimed that she caught these messages between Shashi Tharoor and you. And my question to you really, Meher, is that we all have to respect private spaces. So I'm trying to understand what is disturbing you right now, that your private space was intruded on by...
Look, that
it wasn't true.
That I brought on myself. I shouldn't have answered her. I shouldn't have answered her on Twitter. I should have taken it off Twitter. I should have, called her up or something. Yes, as I said, in hindsight, of course, I'm wiser. All I'm trying to say is, I don't know what went through her head. I don't know why she tweeted what she tweeted. All I'm saying is, everything that she tweeted to me, or when she tweeted from her husband's account, everything was distorted. Everything, most of it were her own words. But to actually imply that, that I was an ISI agent trying to harm her, trying to harm India, or trying to harm her husband, and then that whole IPL, I don't even know what the IPL thing is. I don't even know what IPL corruption is. I don't even know how Mr. and Mrs. Tharoor are even connected to the IPL thing, other than that whole thing that happened years ago. I don't even know why they are being dragged into this. Do they have like a whole lot of money? Did they have the kind of lifestyle that would imply to people that they had money that they couldn't account for? Why is this being even talked about? Why is her husband
No, it's
being
being
talked
talked.
about?
It's being talked about because Sunanda made a call to a number of journalists, including, by the way, to me, very upset. Very upset 2 days before she died, talking about this IPL
But that's
controversy,
the thing.
in which
But
she
that's
said
the
she
thing,
had to take the
Barkha.
fire, she had to take the flak for her
no, but
husband. That was her claim.
For what? No. My point is, what did she take upon herself? That is something that only those two know. I don't know. I don't know what she took upon herself. I don't know what she did. But as far as I knew him, as far as his reputation goes, I don't know. I never thought he was anything other than a writer or a politician or somebody who spoke very well or whose speeches were inspirational. That's about it. That's all I knew. Now, what I'm trying to say is, if you take one thing that she said as the truth and the other things as, she was going through some personal, what should I say, grief or something. Am I an ISI agent? Have I ever done anything I've been to India twice in my life. How does that make me an ISI agent? I interviewed Omar Abdullah, and that's where that is the first time when she called me an ISI agent. If you read that 10,000 word interview, it was a very simple effort from a Pakistani to explain to Pakistanis that it's time to move on. It's time to put the hostilities behind and try to carve out a new narrative between India and Pakistan. There was nothing in that interview, but she got mad at that interview for some reason. She got mad at that interview, and she started saying that Pakistan sends its forces and Pakistan sends its spies, and she called me all sorts of things on Twitter, and that's why she started. And a month later, even I think less than a month later,
she's gone. She's died in the most mysterious and tragic circumstances. So let's not speak ill of the dead, as they say. My question to you is...
I'm not speaking ill of her. I'm not speaking ill of her. I'm just trying to tell you that that's where it started. That was the first time when she... Now, you have to understand that if I'm not an ISI agent, okay, even if I say it 100 times and people believe I'm an ISI agent, that's something different. But let's just, this is what I'm saying to you, and all her tweets to me, everything she attacked me with, in which she tagged a number of people, they were all untrue. I can say that on oath. I can say that in any court of the world, putting my hand on anything.
How would you characterize your equation with Mr. Tharoor before she died and after she died?
Before she died, we weren't in touch with one another.
At all?
But when we were, no, at all. At all means at all, on any form of...
But you've spoken about meeting him a couple of times. You had spoken...
Yes, of course. I met him in Delhi. I wrote about it. I wrote an article about it. You see, when you're meeting somebody for whatever, I don't know, reason which you can't explain to people, then you don't write about it. And post the article on Twitter. You don't talk about it. You don't go to places where there are like a million people who would see you. Okay, they didn't know me, but they knew him. And then I met him again in a very public place in Dubai, where there were like a lot of Indians, non-resident Indians, but very, very high-profile Indians. I was there for a little while. I left, and then after that, we were in touch with one another for a little while. But then, as I said, my phone records are there. I can't be defensive about something again and again and again.
Sure.
My point is, a personal thing was dragged onto Twitter. The woman died. And that is one of the saddest things I have experienced in my entire life. I didn't know her, but I thought it was horrible. It was horrible.
And after she died, how would you characterize your equation with Mr. Tharoor?
I have not spoken to him. We have not had any kind of contact at all. At all means at all. I wrote to him a couple of times to offer my condolences, but other than that, we have not had any form of communication with one another, because obviously if virtual interaction before she died could be blown out of proportion, and the kind of consequences it led to, the kind of public fight they had, because everything has come down to one thing, that she was allegedly he had something with me, then she tweeted to me, and then she died 2 days later. So people got so upset, and understandably, obviously, a woman, a full of life woman, dies suddenly. I can't say she was. I would never use the word murder, or I would never use the word she killed herself.
No, the police is saying murder. The police is saying it's murder. How can you sitting in Pakistan doubt that? In a way.
No, because yesterday I was listening to your commissioner's statement, and he said that yes, we know she has been poisoned. We don't know if she was poisoned or if she did something to herself.
No, it's because some of the radioactive poisons can't be detected in Indian labs. But let me ask you very quickly in the end, just a very short answer, Meher. What would you like to say to the Indians who, as you said, for whom you've become a household name for all the wrong reasons, for very tragic reasons? Your last thoughts tonight to all the people watching this program.
That's just because my name was dragged into something doesn't mean that I had anything to do with what was happening between the husband and the wife at the time that she tweeted to me, or when she died, or that just because the Indian police and the Indian doctors cannot figure out how she died, that you have to come up with conspiracy theories, with ideas that involve another person, a person who was not even in the country, not even in the city, the person who has never even met the person.
We all hope that
I just hope it's, yes, I hope
just hope the truth will surface and justice is done.
I am ready to talk to the police. I'm ready to talk to the police.
You're ready to talk to the Delhi police. Okay, that's...
Of course, anytime.
Okay, thank you for speaking to us from Lahore today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Meher Tarar. Meher Tarar joining us on the Buck Stops here, breaking her silence on the death of Sunanda Pushkar, saying she's ready to talk to the Delhi police, and she's angry that she's being dubbed an ISI agent and being dragged into this case. That's it on the program tonight. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.